Hey everybody, how you doing? Hold on. Let me wait for it. Here it comes. Here it comes. There you go. This is your Professor Positivity, Dr. John Gray, and welcome to Power Talk, where we talk about empowerment and purpose, and we do real talk in a real way. Just want to put it out here. The beat you're hearing is an original beat by my nephew. If you hit him up on Instagram, Sounds of Larry G, he will hook you up with a beat. This is my theme music because every good host needs some. Tonight, I am so honored to have my sister on here. My sister for real. Yashica B is going to be in the house. She is a motivational speaker. She is a best-selling author. She is a boxing promoter. She is all of the above. Trust me, when she calls herself the eclectic mindset motivator, believe me. And she's also a fashion designer. So we're going to talk about that as well. What doesn't she do? What doesn't she do? So I'm going to go ahead and get my sister on here. My EB, what's happening, man? Yo, what's going on, partner? Stockton in the house. Yeah, that EB, that's my nephew's beat right there. Sister Pele from South Carolina. What's good? What's good? What's going on? My boy Eric Bryan in the house right there. Yo. And my first lady, my only. There you go, my Angie. How you doing, Angie? Hey, Talofa Pele, what's going on? I'm gonna bring this beat down a little bit. Listen to me sound like a DJ. I'm gonna bring the beat down a little bit. Let me bring that down. There we go. Bring that down. And when I bring that down, I'm gonna bring my sister on here. Let me make sure I hide that so that don't come back on here. Once again, welcome to Power Talk, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all guys doing? Hey, what's going on, Yashica B? I got you on solo, don't I?
I told you I was a star.
I know, right? I'm like, what in the world is going on here?
Just do his own thing.
I know it is doing its own thing. Wait a minute. I'm the star of this show. Hold on a second. I'm going to take my show. Seriously?
It's that power.
What's this black woman magic going on? Hold up.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah.
Can I get on my own show, please? Wait a minute. This has been happening all day long. Seriously? I got like a little piece of, you see me in the corner?
I don't see you down there. I just see me.
I see me. I got like a piece of corner in here.
No, I see you.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to be the Yashica B show. I'm about to just be done. It's gonna be the Yashica B show. I'm gonna say peace out. Professor Positivity out. I'm gonna turn it over to Yashica B. I'm trying to get my sister on this thing right here. Let me hold on. Let me do this. Let me show on the screen. I got her in here. Now I'm gonna go solo again. She keeps stealing the spotlight, y'all.
You know, I want to do anything that I need to do on my end.
It ain't you. It's trust me. I believe it's me. I believe it is me. Put that little Yashica B up there. Hold up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, Yashica B. I'm gonna even do this. I'll go ahead and put you at the bottom of the screen too. There you go.
Hey, now put my beat on. I need my beat.
Hold on. Let me give you some music.
Nephew, let me borrow your beat.
Let me give you some music.
Yeah, that's what I'm about.
Might as well.
I feel a little Caribbean.
Here come.
Going on. Huh?
There you go. Your breakdown.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. What's up, everybody? It's all about Yashica B over here. Andy, what's going on from Atlanta, Georgia in the house? Yes. Yo, she's shining today for real. Yo, she is shining on me, y'all. She is straight up, how my daughter say, she flexing on me. She is flexing on me. I am trying to get on my own show and can't do it. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this one more again. I'm going to stop my video. I'm going to try it again. So you don't see me nowhere in this thing, huh?
Oh my goodness. It is hilarious.
We need somebody says is she going for a date? You going for a date, Yashica?
And this year, Dr. Pastor Positivity, I got them all up for them.
Hey, listen.
I decided to open myself up. I might do something different this year. It's been almost 10 years since my husband passed. I said I might do something different. I don't know yet though.
Listen, I'm digging that hair flow, sis. I'm digging it. Hey, my peeps on here, do me a favor. If you can see me somewhere on there, maybe I'm in the corner a little bit. Maybe I got a little piece of the screen. I don't know. But if you can see me a little bit on the screen at all, let me know. Because guess what? I will stay in the corner of the screen. Because my guess is the star of the show anyway. So if you can just see a piece of me, I'm trying to get some shine. Some. Can I get some?
I'm loving it. Oh, I'm loving it.
So he said, you're at the corner. I'm at the corner. Okay, guess what? Then I'm going to listen. You know how they say get in the corner? go sit in the corner.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm getting set in the corner on my own show. Talk about that. I'm in the corner on my own show. But guess what? Yashica B, listen, says, I'm glad you're here. Listen, you take the screen, like what said, it's all about my guests because it's all about empowerment, purpose. And as long as they can hear my big mouth, I'm good. So go ahead.
I was thinking about, I had a coaching session with my coach this week, and one of the things she mentioned was, Yashica, you need to get out front. You're always in the back. It's time for you to come up front and look at the universe. Look how it responded.
There you go.
Look who's up front. Okay, there's no denying me. Okay, got it.
My wife always telling me, she said, I'm always jumping in front of the camera and I'm always doing some yakking. I said, sweetie, that yak is paying some of our bills. You listen, I got to do some yakking. We got to do something.
Yep.
But she could be, listen, today we talk about the positive mindset. And one of the things I know, you and my sister Pele are two of the most positive people I know.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I always tell people is that positivity comes from a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't, you don't just wake up and like, hey, I'm positive. No. It's something you got to reach down deep. Mm-hmm. It comes from somewhere. So I know your level of positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about how you had to grow into that, because it's just something that you just had. It ain't just happened.
No.
So talk to us about that.
Okay, with Dr. John, I'm gonna tell you, like, mine is when I really started digging into who I am and my purpose and understanding the mindset and just getting back to who are you and knowing you have to work on yourself from the inner out. And so when I started reaching that point where I was asking those things and putting it out there to myself, whether it was I was self-talk, and let me tell y'all something, nothing wrong with talking to yourself, because I do it too. So
all the time.
Yes. And so when you're putting it out there and you're really believing it, those people, when we say quality people, and they start showing up, things start showing up in your life. And what I say that is because one person, when you mentioned, it's funny that you mentioned her, because I wasn't always like this. I've always been full of energy, don't get me wrong, but all that gratitude and loving you and all that kind of stuff, I don't do that. But anyway, so when Pele came along, I said, it ain't that I'm just, y'all know I'm transparent. I said, it ain't that doggone much happiness and gratitude in the world. She is so, she just get on my nerves and all that. But what I learned is, as we're studying ourselves, you remember the mirror?
Yeah.
Or a mirror of you, and what irritates you about them is something that you might need to fix within yourself. Yes. So all that happiness and love and all that kind of sisters, that aggravated me so bad. But I love Pele, but I just hated all that. I'm like, it don't take all that. At the end of the day, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because what it was doing was working on me when I didn't even know it was working. So I know now, looking back 2-3 years ago, I think it's about 2 years ago, 1980. Anyway, I don't want to date her because she getting old. And looking back, then I see now what the purpose was, because I've always been full of energy, always been self-motivated and all that kind of stuff. But I had my little roughness about me where I don't like people in my world. I don't like all that mushy love you stuff. Now here I am. And you know what? I can tell I'm changed. Dr. Angie tell you that too, because I hung the phone up and said, love you. What? Me? So that's what it is. Is when you start searching and working on yourself, those things that you truly want, even if you don't voice it out, but if it's in your subconscious, the universe knows, and when you ever voice it out, those things really start showing up. And when they start showing up, be grateful. and be thankful for what you see, because what you see is a newer version of you.
Yeah.
And if you don't deny it and don't fight it and accept the changes, you can become so much. And I'm not saying you weren't good, but become so much greater than you already was. Can you imagine that, adding that extra value to yourself? You know, I go to McDonald's, we get a value meal, we want that extra size. Can you imagine extra size in yourself? Man, that feeling right there, can't nobody take that away.
And don't you know, you hit the nail on the head, because research tells us we are the composite of our 3 closest friends. So if you look at your 3 closest friends, that's really you. That's your makeup. Because who you allow in your space is a mirror reflection of who you are. So that piece of Pele that came along, that was you all along. It just had to be brought to the forefront.
Yeah.
And you was kicking and screaming. You was like, I want to keep my little rough edge. I want to keep my hood in me.
I'm telling you, I came kicking and screaming, fighting it all tooth and nail all the way. And when I see the changes in me, like when I know I should have popped off at something, and I'm like, dang, wait, I could pat myself on the back. And I tell you, and then loving me, I'm so glad I wake up with me every day. I love myself some me.
I love it. Okay, Terrell Owens, I love it. T.O. said, I love myself some me. And you know what? Yashica B, I said this when I was on my walk one time. I said, strike up the band for yourself, grab the pom-pom for yourself, and cheer your own self on. Stop waiting for people to do it, because guess what? It may not happen.
Absolutely. I was that person one time, and believe it or not, I didn't need people, but I needed people and didn't really know it. That small piece of validation, I didn't realize that I needed it. Although I'm okay with self-motivating and doing things, but you always had that little piece of something missing. There's just something missing in there that's like, okay, what's keeping that shackle? And I was doing the search and the research with myself, and I realized that it's a small piece of validation, but the validation wasn't necessary from the people around me. The validation went back to something in my past. You know, we carry this stuff not even really knowing. And so I just, okay, so what's the value? What did you need? It was that different type of thing, which you're always trying to please like a parent or a friend. Most of the times with us and our culture, it comes in that family. The sting of the family. It's something rooted back there, because what we show outside always look great, but what's really going on the inside. And when I was willing to work on me, and that means when I ask God to show me, I don't tell him to show me in the lighted way. Show me all of me. So when he shows me all of me and shows me those pieces that we avoid, we run from, and I realize, oh, that's it. I get it. Why do you put the glass ceiling? Oh, I got it now. Because there it goes again. Back in the day when I was younger, being told I had a big mouth and I talked too much, I'm like, okay, I put that glass ceiling on my head, and it came from my mom. So with it coming from my mom, I took it negatively. I really took it negatively. Like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't talk too much. Or maybe so at the end of the day, when it comes down to where I am now, that was that small piece of validation for her to accept me talking so much. Because I talk a lot because I had a lot to say. And I know that now. And when I talk now, people listen because I truly have something to say. If I'm opening my mouth, flapping my gums, these little teeth going chatter, it's something that you probably need. It's a negative that you probably want from me.
Somebody once told Muhammad Ali he talked too much.
Oh, wow.
I mean, think about this. Where all those kids in school who the teacher said they too much energy and talk too much in class. They're probably right now, they're motivational speakers, they authors, they out there doing their thing because it's the energy that they had that needed to be put out there. All it needed to be was just funneled and focused.
Right. Yep, and align with the right people. Like now we are. So those things that are in you, they're coming out. They're expanding. They're just rising to the top. Even if you don't want to rise to the occasion, it's so deep in you. It's so rooted in you. It's like who's that? Jeremiah. So like fire. Shut up in my mouth. You gotta let this. They gotta come out.
Can't help myself.
That's right. So yep, they gotta come out. So now that's where I'm at. And I am truly grateful every single day that I wake up on this side of the dirt.
So what I want to go into now is because there's something that you mentioned prior in one of our conversations, and you were talking about coming to grips with the eclecticness that you bring. and you said, hey, I'm the eclectic mindset motivator.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want you to go into next. Talk about that.
Okay, because with me, Dr. John, I can do so many things. And do you remember the saying, it was a jack of all trades, master of none?
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, that one, another negative to me, because whenever we heard that, we didn't hear that as power and positive. We heard that as negative. Like, you're a jack of all trades, master of none. No, I'm a Janet, me, of all trade, and a master of many.
There you go. I love that.
I master
like
many.
That.
Many.
Like that.
And so that's what it is. And when I realized I was trying to box myself in by titles, okay, here I got a master's in counsel. Okay, well, let me title this. Okay, here I'm a sergeant in the army. Well, let me title myself. Let me fit to that fit. I don't fit like that. And that's when I realized that's what was killing me inside, because trying to fit a freaking title or something that I should be like, that's why I don't like, I know people say coaches. I don't like that title, because my brain will automatically start forming, what does a coach do? You know, how does it, but instead of being just me. So when I said, you know what, I can't be boxed in, that's when my world went again. And that's why I'm the eclectic mindset motivator. Then I went back, because I told you I have a master's in counseling psychology. I went back to a theory. There is a theory in our studies called eclecticism. And it talks about those theories, because it's when you pull stuff from all different theories and you put it together and make your own. And then I was talking to Dr. Andrew years ago, but like last year, trying to figure out some things. I always wanted a blueprint. When I realized what God was really telling me is, your blueprint you write yourself.
Yep.
Your red carpet, you lay it down yourself. Your yellow brick road, you got to build that yourself brick by brick. I was trying to find a template of me. There's not a template of me. I am the template. I am the program.
Go ahead, talk to us.
So when I say eclectic mindset motivator, because that's who I am, and I know I'm not the only one out there who has a lot of stuff going on. Because one thing I can say about me, and I did have, we always get these people in our culture, in our family, say, well, you don't know what you want to do. Excuse me, I do know what I want to do, because I can pop back on anything I've done before, and I'll be all right. But you only have one skill. What happens when your skill go away? What you gonna do? If all you know how to do is fry chicken and they take the grease, what you gonna do? But I know how to put it in the air fryer. I know how to put it on the grill.
I will not go hungry.
Absolutely.
I will not go hungry.
I will fall back on something.
I will make it, because I have many things to fall back on, and I love that. I love that, because some people get stuck on this thing where this is what I do and this is all I'm gonna do. Well, guess what? That means you're not flexible enough to learn something new and expand your own boundaries.
And and that's when you're just conforming to what you're fitting a title again. But that with me, I can't get in that box. I can't get in that box. I can't get in that frame, because I want to see the full picture. And then when I see that full picture, I want to be able to have enough in me in that picture to be able to tell somebody else, because I gather, I'm like a sponge at times. I gather all that stuff in. And if somebody come my way, they might ask me about a toolbox on the top of the hill, on around the corner over there at the red house and the yellow head. I might know it. I know how to get there. I might have to say, go reach over there to that. I can do that. And I love it. And I had to learn to embrace that, because that's part of me. Authentically me. That's spelling word. That's part of me. That's who I am. That's just me. I like stuff like that. And I'm so ecstatic and happy now, because I don't have to try to box her in. She can't do that.
The cool thing I like about this, because I want to go a little deeper with this, because when we have to deal with the things that life brings us, and when we have to deal with the inevitable life blows, it's not going to just be one character or part of our character that gets us out of that. So, when we talk about needing an arsenal of things, you're going to need tenacity. You're going to need grit. You're going to need courage. You're going to need motivation. You're going to need inspiration. You can't just hold on to one thing and say, this one thing's going to get me out of this hole. You're going to have a bunch of ammunition in your arsenal to deal with this stuff. And that's the bigger picture. So what you're saying is, don't just bring one thing to the table and just hang your hat on that one thing.
And Dr. John, when I got tired of not being invited to the table, I don't even care no more. I build my own. I invite you.
Speaking of which,
or not, it's my choice. It's my world.
Speaking of which, I want to give you a huge shout out, visionary author, best-selling author, Yashica B. So tell us about that. You know, you said you build your own table. Next, you know, I'm looking up, I'm like, Ange, what you doing? She's like, I'm part of a book collab. I'm like, really? Okay. Who's hooking it up? Yashica B. Her and Pam Henkel. I said, okay. What in the world? Where did that come from? Okay, I'm gonna do a book.
Yes, we were on a interview, she and I, Pamela Hinkle and I, and she mentioned it. And the thing is, I also thought about that too. But when she said it, I took it and I ran with it. And that's one thing about me. I love action. And especially if it's something I can be passionate about, I can run with it, I'm going to run with it. And so that's what it was. And so by the time we were trying to figure it out, we already had people on the call. We was making the thing happen. And so I like those. They like to put those A, B, and C's together, build a solid foundation and grow from it. And that's where we started from. And then also it was an opportunity for me to stretch myself and really get comfortable with knowing who I really am and the leader that I am, and not backing down in no shape, form, or fashion. But also to understand that when you're put in positions of stretching, that God is stretching and testing you, it's things that's going to come along with it. But then I had to be wise enough, and I'll say all the years of the turbulence that I've been through, knowing how to level off and knowing how to bring. You know, I love horses, and knowing how to put those blinders on, because now I'm running a race. I'm a thoroughbred now. So now I know how to put the blinders on. So no matter what goes on over here, I see my finish. I see my goal. I see where I'm going. I don't care about what's going on over here. If you ever look at it, wonder why a racehorse has blinders on, because that racehorse is distracted. And that's me. That's my click. I could be distracted because if you say, hey, she could come over here and do this, I brought over here try to help you. I'm building you up. But no, I had to put the blinders on. And because I knew something that I had to get out of there. One, I had to learn a lot to teach others. And also had to be a light and hold space for others that were not able to actually do what I was doing, and just to be there, that little token, I might say, to support other women. And that's what came from that. So even when I look back over it, I know it was something that I had to get, and I got it. And I'm grateful for it. That's Ghost out here in the background. And I'm grateful for even the trials, the tribulations, the turn to testimonies, the grit, the #1 bestseller, international bestseller.
Yeah.
That's something you can't take away. You know, I'm getting ready to go get my little gold stickers. I'm going to be having them stickers all over my head. When you see me, you're going to say, who is that? Oh, that's a gold sticker. There she go. Okay.
I know it. Listen, flex on them. You earned it. You deserve it. Flex on them and make it happen. What's your biggest takeaway from that project about yourself, about you?
Ooh, the growth. Because in the beginning of the conversation, when we was talking about gratitude and being happy, and when I was telling you about I could snap on it, you know, and then holding my tongue, because sometimes we don't need to react and we don't need to respond. And then also being able to do the same thing with others, to say, you know what, everything does not deserve a response. And I'm learning that, Dr. John, I had to learn that even though it could be a bunch of us in the room, and even though I know 4 + 4 is 8, I don't have to tell you that. It's knowing when it's my turn. And that's most important. Know when is your turn. We can be the smartest person in the room, and we know we should not be, but that's okay. But you got to learn that first, that you are the smartest person in the room, but you don't have to tell nobody that, but you can exit and bow out gracefully, because no matter what, if you turn that thing, you always can get something out of something. And it can work for you, or for you to be able to use to assist someone else. And that's me. It wasn't about me. It was always about other people. And that's what I truly can say I had to learn. And I'm grateful for that growth, knowing everything doesn't deserve a response.
Yeah. You know what? Louis Farrakhan said one time, I will never forget. He said, if a dog howls at the moon, it's normal. Now, if the moon howl back, is news. And you know what? I said, you know what? Sometimes, you know, some things you just say, okay, duly noted. My wife, Angie, she knows this. When I say duly noted, that means I'm making a list, checking it twice. I'm not necessarily saying something, but I'm keeping it right here.
Yeah.
Just say, duly noted. Yep. Duly noted.
Yep. That's right. And that's growth. That's definitely growth for me. Growth for me. Yep. So, and then also, Dr. John, to know what I like and what I don't like, because I can do a lot of things, but you don't have to do everything. And that is where I am too, because I can. I'm gifted like that. I can do a lot of things, but I don't have to do everything. I don't.
Gotcha.
And I'm okay with that too.
So on the heels of that book, on the heels of the successful book, because I mean it was successful. What's next down the road for you?
Well, for me now, I'm pushing. I want a 90-day run for myself. I'm putting my oxygen mask on first and developing something that I'm going to be able to show people that it can be done if you focus. And sometimes your focus is not necessarily what it looks like for everybody else. It only matters what it looks like for you. And also, I want to throw in success in there too, because I talked about that today. Your success only matters to what success looks like for you. Remember that. I want to tell your audience that. Remember that we're comparing ourselves too much to other things and other people and what they measuring success off of what somebody else said success would be. You know, success for you might be waking up in the morning, getting up without crack snapping and popping. That may be a successful type deal. And if it is, celebrate that. So what I'm saying for me, the next 90 days, I'm on a run. My 90 days is to push Design Reflections, my company, my online store for women apparel. My apparel is for those women who have done the affirmations, who've done the self-care, who've done all of that. Now, when you look at yourself, what do you see in the mirror?
Oh, stop, pause. That's another thing. Design Reflections. You out here with fashion wear, and I mean, you doing the next Damon John stuff. So talk about that a little bit, because we got some women on here. So talk about what you got.
Okay, Designed Reflection is my apparel store. It's online, and what it is, it's an apparel store for women, of our mature women, I should say. And I looked at myself and look at the design, the reflection. I looked at the reflection in the mirror and said, you know what? We've done the self-care. We've done the self-development. We've done the self-improvement. What's next? What's next to hold us comfortable, being comfortable in our own skin? So that's when I created that line of clothing, comfort wear clothing. So when you're looking at yourself, when you look in the mirror, we can say, okay, hey, I look good. I'm holding myself in. I'm comfortable. I designed my reflection. And the reason why I say designed, because we can turn around and look in that mirror, and whatever we want to see is what we can see. We don't have to look at the past like the past was that we just built ourselves and took ourselves from and worked from. We can turn that thing in that mirror and we can look at that thing and design it the way we want to look at it. We don't have to see abuse. We don't have to see misbehavior. We don't have to see none of that. We can see exactly what we want to see. Designed reflection. Design that reflection the way you want to see it. And that's what it is, the comfort clothes for her to get and be comfortable in her skin of who she is, the designed person she wants to be, and to be free. And I didn't hit on that. My store is called Designed Reflection, but the signature line is free to be me. Free to be me. I am free to be the me that I choose to be, not the free me that you want me to be, my kids or anybody else, but who I choose to be. And that's after I look in that mirror and I design her to look like I want her to look like. I'm a star of my own movie. I'm no longer the co-star, none of that. And when I see people, I say, you just an extra in my movie.
I love it. An extra in my movie. I love it, because you know what? Sometimes we go through life and we just take a supporting cast and we okay with that. And we let other people write our script. And I tell people when I do motivational talks, I tell them, I said, listen, you are the author of your own story. Stop letting other people borrow the pen. You let people write the story for you. You letting them write the script out for you. Grab the pen and write your own story. And that's what you're saying. Listen, do what you got to do for you. So you got a book under your belt. You got
that's three.
Three under your belt. You got the clothing line. What's next? I'm going back. Don't forget I have Conversation for the Soul with Dr. Angie, and she and I are getting ready to work on a project. I hadn't said the whole go yet, but as soon as she gets better, we're going to work on a project. And this one right here, Dr. John, it's going to parallel one other one too, because I have another book coming as well that I was charged to write. One night I went outside with Ghost. I can tell you this story. When Ghost wakes me up anytime between 2:30 to 4:30 a.m., I know now God is trying to tell me something. Because that's not his normal I'm getting up time. And so I had an issue that was going on, and I threw out a title, right? But I threw it out jokingly, and the title was The Kiss of Judas. So when I went outside with Ghost, and I was talking about that, I said, you know what? And I understood the betrayal, right? And when I get to that in a minute. So when I went outside with Ghost, I was out there, and it was a beautiful night, quiet, still, and the voice spoke. You thought I was joking.
the kiss of Judas is real. Now go back and write it. It was 3:30 in the morning. I came back in the house and literally got my notebook, which is right by my bed, and started writing. And it was flowing, the different parts. And it was like I wasn't even writing in full chapters. I was writing chapters. I was writing the insert from this one, and he would say chapter 1. Then I wrote an insert, chapter 3. And I'm like, what? And then it was just coming like that. And it's been doing this ever since. And I said it was supposed to be out January the 5th, but I gave my own self an extension. I was supposed to do that, but I did.
Give yourself an extension.
Yeah, I let everything else happen. But now I'm holding myself to February. It will be out. I'll be finished with it and on to editing and publishing, because I have an awesome publishing company, Onyx Publishing. I don't know if you know them or not, but excellent. And so I'm using them.
I'm just happy to know them.
Because I know they can take and really take my stuff and really make it stay me, but make it be so flowing and elegantly. So that's the publishing company I'll be using. So yes, this coming. And the reason why I wanted the backstory behind that, the kiss of Judas, understanding betrayal and its purpose, because a lot of times we look at betrayal and we think, oh, the end I'll get and then we think about Christ and Judas, right? But the reason why the purpose is to understand that Christ knew this was going to happen before it happened, but the prophecy had to be fulfilled. And if you can look at those people in your life and that backstabbing, that they're talking about you, the being all that maliciousness, if you can understand the prophecy has to be fulfilled and say, that's just a character in my movie. And that's just a chapter, that's just a scene, because if I didn't have that scene, it wouldn't be interesting and nobody would watch my movie. And if you can turn that and flip that thing around like that, you can understand that every single piece of betrayal can be turned into a purpose for you to get something out of it. Because wherever you're going, even that's not going to stop you. Christ had to go to Calvary. Yeah. That didn't stop him. Mm-hmm. He had to rise again. That didn't stop him. So if you can put that in your mind and know that, I believe we can all move through this thing called life a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, and let go of some of this dead weight of people, of sayings, of just stuff that just does not work for your true purpose of who you really are. Let it go.
Somebody preach past Yashica.
That's coming too.
That's coming too. Now, see, I wasn't gonna go there. I was gonna leave it alone. And you know, I notice I keep saying, what else you got going on? What's next?
Yeah, that's something I've been running from, Dr. John. I didn't see it. I couldn't understand. I didn't know it. But over this last 6 months, and even though it had come to me for a minute, I throw it away. Come to me again, I throw it away. It was something that I had to get because I was going through this. I knew I wanted to pick up some more studying, but I didn't know exactly what the studying was. But I would do this program, tapping here, tapping. This has been going on for the last 3 to 5 years, jumping here, jumping it, and nothing really sad. But I was like, okay, well, I just want it, just want to do something. But here recently, I have gotten into something, and I'm so excited. It's truly me. And I'm also getting ready to show people how to collapse time with it too. Something I'm just gonna get it done, in a time that might not be textbook time, but it'll be my time. So it's gonna be good. So yes, and taking it to do more, because again, remember when I talked about the glass ceiling and saying I talk too much, because I truly have something to say.
Yeah, truly
have something to say. And now, when you surrender, when you give it up, just give up that ghost of yourself, everything changes. Everything changes. Nothing you look at, like Wayne Dyer says, change the way you look at things. The things you look at will change. And that's not just something we just saying. It truly changes.
It comes to an awareness, an awareness of self. One of the things that you said repeatedly in this interview, you said, I have something to say. Mm-hmm. Most people never get to that declarative statement about themselves, knowing they do have something to say, knowing they have something to produce, they have something to offer and something to give, but they go through life, don't nobody want to hear me. Yashica, do you realize the book I wrote, Quitting Was Not an Option, for 10 years I was saying, don't nobody want to hear about my life. Now they're using that textbook in colleges.
Wow.
I mean, we don't have no idea what we have in us. But you are making that declarative statement. And to those who are listening, I want you to hone in on what Yashica keeps saying. I have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
That is a declarative statement of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And this show is about empowerment and purpose. And you are literally saying, listen, I'm a person of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. I'm going to walk in it. I ain't backing away from it. I'm going to embrace it because it's who I am. And Yashica, I love that about you. You're saying, I know I got a purpose and I'm walking in it.
Mm-hmm. My light shined and I dimmed it before. Won't do it again. Can't happen.
Yeah, your light shining. You stole my show. This is welcome to the Yashica B PowerTalk show, everybody. I'm the somewhat co-host in the corner, the pastor positivity in the corner, Dr. John Gray. This is the Yashica B show.
Yep. I just had a co-host with me today, dear people.
My goodness. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this up here because this once again, this has been Power Talk with Dr. John Gray. Where we do real talk about empowerment and purpose. And this episode 20 was about the positive mindset. And Yashica, you have just given us so much to just marinate on. Oh, I got a piece of the screen now. Oh wow!
Look, I didn't even recognize it.
Look at everybody. I graduated to a piece of the screen. Yashica, you have such a energetic spirit about you, and I love your can't be stopped mentality. I love your positive mindset, but more than that, I love your tenacity about knowing who you are and wanting everybody else to walk in who they are. So what I want to do is, and I ask all my guests to do this, I want you, if you could, take a couple of minutes. And I mean, you've been on solo for a hot minute anyway, but I'm just going to take you. I'm going back in the corner, but I'm going to literally go off the screen. And I want you to take a couple of minutes to just shoot some inspiration and motivation, encourage the people's way. All right, sis, the floor is yours.
Okay. One thing I can say that I've always said is no matter what, be the best you can be. I used to talk to my daughter because we used to just go at each other. And I said, it doesn't matter what you do, but be the best you. And I'm going to get real downright so you can understand what I'm saying. If you choose to dance on a pole, I told be the best dance pole, be the best dancer you could be. Always put your best self first. It doesn't matter, because if it's satisfying to you and it makes you happy, then you did the right thing. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say, but always do what's best for you. And to remember, you don't have to tear down anyone's kingdom while building your empire, because there's plenty of room at the top. It's the bottom that's crowded. That's Yashica B.
Oh, look who's at the corner now. Oh my goodness. Look who's at the corner now. Okay, I got my show back, y'all. I got my show back.
I'm going to get IT in here to check that out. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, Yashica B, I love that close where you said you don't have to tear anybody's kingdom to build up your own empire. Thank you so much, sis, for your words. Thank you so much for dropping gems on us, and thank you so much for your energy. And I'm looking forward to Conversation for the Soul coming back. And your co-host is recovering. She is getting her strength back, and she's getting back to her old feisty self. And I'm loving every bit of it. So I'm looking forward to what you have coming, what you got coming up. And I'm just looking forward to being motivated and inspired by you, because I and others are watching, and you are an inspiration. And remember when you put something about when you were working out and you used the word accountability, and I picked up that mantra. And it lit a fire under me. So just know, sis, people are watching you, and you're motivating more people than you even realize.
Wow, that's good. Because if I only get one, I'm good.
All righty. Thank you so much, Yashica B.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Yashica B, the eclectic mindset motivator who took over my show. I actually finally get a chance to come on here now solo, but I just want to just welcome you to Wednesdays at 4:30. We have Power Talk, where we talk real talk about empowerment and purpose. We're just trying to just get people to walk in their purpose. That's all it's about. Walking your purpose. What are you called to do? If you say nothing, then I listen. I'm gonna take you at your word, because if that's what you believe about yourself, then that's what you're gonna walk in. But that's not what I believe for you. I believe that God put everybody here for a distinct purpose. God put everybody here for a distinct reason. You have a calling. You have a calling. You have a purpose. You have a job to do. And as unique as we are in terms of the DNA that's in our body, as unique as we are in terms of having the only one set of fingerprints for each person on this planet, There's something unique that God has called you to do. So stop the negative talk, energize and activate your power talk, and begin to walk in your empowerment and walk in your purpose. Remember, you got a job to do. God gave it to you. Let's get to it. This has been Power Talk with Dr. John Gray, and I thank you so much for having me here. And once again, I want to just thank my special guest, Yashica B, for bringing that wisdom and bringing that knowledge and bringing that energy and for stealing my show. Once again, take care. Have a great one, everybody. And here's the music.